Hey there, real quick before we get into the episode, I just want to ask you a huge favor. As you know, this podcast isn't monetized, and I really hope to keep it that way. And so, what would really be awesome is if you did me the favor of passing it forward, paying it forward. Hit that share button if you want to share this particular episode, or share the entire podcast. Post it on your stories or in your social media, or share it directly with any individual that you might think would appreciate and enjoy this content. I really want to continue giving you value for free, sharing this information with you, because my mission is to help you on your journeys, right? And as I said, if you're finding this stuff helpful, chances are there's somebody else out there that will. So again, do me a quick favor, hit that share button, and let's get this message out. All right, on with the show. Path Media. Proof that the internet can turn you into a lazy thinker is the fact that there are people out there that believe the earth is flat. Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers, and my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the ReDEFINE Podcast. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about AI. That's right, AI. Namely, my experience with AI as I've started to integrate it into my content strategy. And it's not that I was avoiding it before, right? I'm just the kind of person that's slow to adopt technology. But I knew that it would be stupid for me not to use these tools, right? I mean, number one, it's everywhere now. Like it's pervasive. And number two, you'll understand this if you're a content creator, if you're already putting, you're already trying to build your influence online. Content creation and publishing takes a lot of time. It is time intensive. It's work intensive. So, if there are tools out there that can help shoulder that burden, why not? Why not? It'll make you more efficient, which I've found, and it'll save you time, which I've found. So let's just get into the conversation. The first tool that I've started to use was Chat GPT. That was my first thing. I mean, everybody's talking about Chat GPT, right? So I started, and you can start a free account. There's a paid version as well, but I'm using the free version. I first started using that to help me generate descriptions for my YouTube videos and for my podcast, right? I love writing. Don't get me wrong. I love writing. I love the art form of crafting words into sentences and putting sentences together to make paragraphs, and in order to communicate an idea succinctly. I love that, and it really just gets my creative juices flowing. It allows me to express myself and express that creative side of me. But it takes a lot of time. I'm a slow writer because I get so into it. I really get meticulous about my writing, and so it just takes too much time. If especially back when I was releasing an episode every day on this show, like it would take me so much time to write a description for each podcast and video. And as a result, as a result of trying to rush through that, the SEO was not optimized, and the discoverability was not optimized. So I knew that was something I could rely on with AI. And it's been incredible. It's been incredibly helpful. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like it's starting to help my discoverability and my search optimization on YouTube. So what I do is I first edit the audio and of course the video, and I put that together, right? I put the video package together, and then I upload it to YouTube. And then when enough time processes, I grab the auto-generated captions from YouTube, which it's not 100% accurate, but Chat GPT is pretty good about interpreting on all that. And so I grab that auto-generated caption, and then I throw it into Chat GPT, and I ask Chat GPT, hey, can you please help me write a search optimized description for a YouTube video based on this raw transcript? And it spits it out. It spits it out. It's great. I make tweaks here and there to make it sound a little bit more like me, and et cetera, to make it more accurate to what the message that I want to deliver. But for the most part, it's amazing. It really is amazing. And that's the thing with Chat GPT in particular. I mean, I'm not super versed in AI and all the different applications, but it's really for Chat GPT all about asking it the right questions, right? And it's been so incredibly useful. And then after that, I will ask it to, based on the same raw transcript, to write me a optimized podcast description. And so I get it out. It's done. It's done. In less than 5 minutes, right? As long as I have the caption, the auto generated captions, it can give me descriptions, or at least suggestions, but it'll write out a full description for me, and it'll say, okay, yeah, just tweak it to your desire, but I can have that done in 5 minutes. So that's been incredible. So much time saved. Again, I'm a slow writer and a meticulous writer, and this just allows me to get it out there, and if it's search optimized for whatever keywords, you can even tell it what keywords you want to search optimize. You want to optimize the descriptions for, or it'll suggest based on the transcript what keywords you can optimize for. So it's really handy. It's really handy. Outside of that, you can also use Chat GPT just to help generate ideas, right? Like from the sheer idea standpoint, which I've never had an issue with, because I have like thousands of ideas on my notes and on my phone, because I'm constantly jotting ideas. But if you need help, or at least getting started of thinking ideas for your content, then ask Chat GPT. Start a new account if you don't already have an account with Chat GPT. It's free. You can do the free version and just ask it. Okay, so I want to create content based on health and wellness and fitness and what people can do over the age of 40. Try to get as specific as you can with your questions that you ask GPT, and it'll give you as the quality of the question will produce the quality of the answer, right? And it'll just spit out like 5 to 10 ideas. So play around with that. It's been really fun to look at. Now the second application that I've started to use with AI is the Captions app. So I use the Captions app. I use a paid version of the Captions app to help me put captions on my short form videos when I cut up the YouTube long form, right? I cut it into short form reels, and I put captions on that, or really any reels that I'm talking in. So I'll load it up in the captions, and I notice now that you can use AI to help you generate captions in a different language. So I saw that there was a Spanish one, and I did a test run of the Spanish language. The Filipino Tagalog one was really not very accurate, but I did that just for fun. But I did the Spanish one. And I sent the final video, the final clip, to a friend of mine who's fluent in Spanish and speaks and reads Spanish, and she said, yeah, it's pretty good. It's really accurate. So like for me, I bring that up, and I want to utilize that because I want to reach a broader audience that may not be English speaking, right? And so now I can have Spanish captions. French will probably be just as accurate. I'm sure some of the other languages that aren't as widely spoken may not be as accurate, like Filipino Tagalog. But like with the main big languages, Spanish, French, I don't know. I don't know if Chinese is even an option. I'm sure it is. I'm sure the big languages are relatively accurate. So that's one really exciting way for that particular application of AI, because I mean I'm going to test it out and see if I do in fact reach wider audiences, and it helps me grow my audiences on the short form platforms like Instagram and TikTok, but also too, I mean, just something as simple as the captions itself, and it choosing emojis in the captions. I don't know if you guys have seen that on the Reels or any short form platform, where a person's captions will have emojis mixed in them, and it makes it really fun to read. So there's an AI integrated into that, where the AI will choose emojis for your captions. So I've been using that for a little while now, and it's super fun, right? It's super fun. Again, it makes, at least from a content standpoint, I think it makes your content more engaging, especially in those short forms. So those right now are the ways I'm using AI. Again, this is just to reiterate my conversation about AI in the past, and really about the internet, is that it's a tool, right? It's a tool. These tools, the internet and AI, I would not suggest I would not suggest that you use them to do the work for you, right? Don't skip steps when it comes to your own growth and your own learning. Yeah, shortcuts are great if you already know how to get there in the first place. Save yourself time. But if you don't know how to get to where you're going, the tool and the shortcut can really be a detriment, and it can become a crutch, right? It can become a crutch, and so when as you start integrating this stuff into your own workflow, just make sure it doesn't become that. Make sure you're really relying on it as a tool, as opposed to doing the work for you, right? Again, coming up with ideas, not doing creating the content for you. Just aiding you in the creation of that content. I think I've talked about it in past episodes, and I'll go back and look in the archive which episode, and I'll leave it in the show notes of today. I've talked about how internet can really make us lazy thinkers if we're not careful. And same thing with AI, right? Same thing with AI. We can really become dependent on these tools that we just I don't want to make judgments and say negative things about ourselves, but it can really be a detriment, as opposed to an addition, right, to an enhancement. So at proof that the internet can there's no more better proof than this, but proof that the internet can create and make you, proof that the internet can turn you into a lazy thinker, is the fact that there are people out there that believe the earth is flat. Right? Like that are adamant that the earth is flat, right? And okay, so I'm sure that a good amount of those people are just a bunch of trolls online, and that just want to, are just being obnoxious, right? But there is a percentage of those people that talk about flat earth that truly believe it, and I say that it's lazy thinking because they'll take a piece of information and not really look into whether or not it's true. They'll just buy it outright and say, okay, I believe in that. The earth is flat. It's on the internet. Let me not really think about it. Here's the evidence X, Y, and Z on this article, so it must be true. That is obviously the extreme level, and I know it's not a large a large part of the population, but it is, again, proof that the internet, and if it's not, if we're not
mindful of our use of it, can turn us into absolute idiots. It really can. It really can. So same thing with AI. My warning is still going to be the same. Again, amazing tool, but don't let it turn you into a lazy thinker, right? Don't let it create dependence. Don't let it do its thinking for you. Use it to help enhance what you're already doing. And there are, from what I've seen so far, and I'm just getting started, there are an incredible amount of ways that it can help you, become more efficient, save more time, and really make your life easier when it comes to creating your content, when it comes to publishing and taking that workload, a little bit of that workload off your shoulders. So that's really where I wanted to land on this particular topic. Hope that makes sense. If you have any experience with AI, and if you're already using it, and if it's helped you, with your content creation, especially, let me know. Let me know in the comments section below. If you're listening to this podcast, connect with me on the socials and let me know, in the DMs or even on the in our community, the ReDEFINE community on Facebook. Let us know how this stuff is helping you, man. Because again, I'm just scratching the surface. I'm just getting started with this stuff. So I would love to hear your experience with it if it's really helped you out, right? All right, so that's it. Of course, more from me in the next episode. You'll catch me on Thursday with a fresh new one. So until then, be well, be safe, and go towards goodness.